Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your man, Jerry Goins here. Yes, your man, Jerry, your street captain, the Port City mogul himself, you know what I'm saying? We here, we live. And I'm here just to give y'all some brief information that, I've been following, and I want y'all to understand it as well. And so, something really crazy is happening with our money, and you guys have got to understand some of these implications. And you see where I'm at right now. I told you, they building this house, so I'm front, live, and center. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, hey man, I'm the messenger. I'm just giving it to you live in different locations, okay? So we on the site right now. We on the campsite. But let me get right into this information because I don't want to waste your time or anything like that. And if you are catching the replay, of course, hashtag replay gang down in the comment section, okay? But yeah, there's something that's happening with our money, and you definitely should know what's happening. Okay, so let me just give y'all a quick history lesson. Now, back in the 1940s, a group of international bankers got together and decided to have what's called a Bretton Woods conference. It's called the Bretton Woods Conference. It was done in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. Okay, so that's why they call it that. But what they decided was they're going to make the dollar the global currency. They're going to make the dollar the global currency. Now, right now, the dollar is involved in about 70 to 80% of all global transactions. But at the same time, it's only responsible for about 25% of the world's GDP. Meaning that United States dollar, what we're able to put out, what we contribute to the world, is only about 25% of what the global economy is, but it is still the standard. It's involved in 70 to 80% of the world's transactions. Why is that? What's up, Mr. Gaddy? Oh, money guy, you know what I'm talking about? Hey, man, it is what it is, you know what I'm talking about? But you the money guy over there. We see you with that Lexus. We see you, boy. We see you shining, boy. But yeah, man, we gotta ask yourself, why is that? Why is the dollar the global currency, even though it's not like, the top economic producer? And it's because they got together in the 1940s at this Bretton Woods conference and said, look, the dollar is going to be the standard. The dollar is going to be the go-to. Okay, and then years later, it was in the 70s when FDR decided that we were no longer going to be backed by gold. Right? So everybody knows that the dollar is no longer backed by gold, right? And people, you know what? The last time the Federal Reserve was audited to see how much gold was actually in that mug was back then. Like, it's been over 30, 40 years since we even seen how much gold was in that thing. Y'all remember that movie National Treasure where they stole all the gold? There probably ain't even no gold in there to steal right now, right? But hey, I don't want to get banned, so don't be, telling Facebook that I'm telling y'all about this, okay? But anyway, they even made it illegal to have gold. You remember that. Some people are old enough to remember that. Maybe nobody on Facebook listening right now, but they actually made it illegal to transact gold. And so what I'm getting to is they decide that the dollar is the global currency. They decide to take us off the gold standard. Now, what that allowed to happen is runaway inflation. Some of y'all might not know what inflation means, but that just means that the actual value of a currency goes down, and that means that the prices go up. So when I say inflation means that the price of goods double every 20 years, is just because inflation right now is about 2%, 2 to 3% inflation. Okay, so you just gotta think about that when you come in terms with your money. Now, more importantly than that, okay, just knowing that they control the policy on your money, the value of your money, that it's not backed by gold anymore, which you have to go into the earth to get. You can't just write gold on a piece of paper and all of a sudden you got value. You got to dig down in the earth and get gold, right? That's God's money, people say. Gold is God's money. It actually has utility. They use it in computers. They use it in manufacturing. Use it in jewelry. You don't use money, actual paper dollar. You don't use that for nothing, right? But when they took us off the gold standard, they allowed the money to run away. They allowed themselves to basically just print more money, to just make more money, to just inflate the money supply. That was dangerous, right? But you know, eventually that's all gonna catch up. That's all gonna catch up. You know, you can't just keep going into debt forever. And I asked about 3 years ago on my Facebook, I had like this contest where I said, hey, if you can tell me what, yeah, thank you. FDR is president from 33 through 45, fiat currency, exactly. Yeah, so I said the 70s, but you know what I'm saying as far as when actually the gold was taken off of, the money, our dollar supply was taken off of the gold standard. And then there was another period in time where globally the dollar was removed from the peg, and the gold was removed as the peg, and the dollar was inserted there. Okay, so that's another thing. Just look this up. Bretton Woods, Bretton Woods 2020. And basically you'll see that they came out with a announcement this summer that said it's time for a new Bretton Woods agreement. This summer they announced it's time for a new Bretton Woods. What does that mean? Well, before gold was the standard, they replaced that with the dollar in Bretton Woods back in the 40s. It was 1944, I believe. Now they're saying we need a new Bretton Woods. Well, right now the dollar is the standard. Well, what are they going to replace that with? And if you look around the news and what they're putting out, the same group of people that control this are now saying that digital currency is going to be the new dollar. Digital currency. Now, think about this. Cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, Bitcoin, all that is one thing. Digital currency is a completely different thing. Digital currency just means it's a number in a spreadsheet in a server somewhere. You know, so when we're doing things like credit card transactions, that's just digital money, swiping digital money, right? The blockchain technology means that there's a finite amount of currency out there. So, for example, Bitcoin, it's only 21 or 22 million Bitcoin ever in existence. Matter of fact, it still hasn't even been mined yet. There's still like 2 or 3 million Bitcoin that have not been mined. So just like you got to go into the earth to get gold and mine out the gold, people are mining Bitcoin by solving these mathematical equations in order to get Bitcoin. And there's still about 2 million Bitcoin left. The price right now is about $13,000 for one Bitcoin. At a time, it was only 1 penny. It was less than a penny for Bitcoin. And now it's, 13,000. So you can imagine as this keeps going, Bitcoin can go up to 20,000. Some say it can go up to 100,000 for one Bitcoin. So number one thing is you got to get your Bitcoin, man. You got to stack up on your currency. And it's crazy because Bitcoin is only one coin. There are literally thousands of other cryptocurrencies out there. Ethereum is the number 2 cryptocurrency that's out there. What Bitcoin is what they call blockchain 1.0. It's a digital ledger. There's a finite amount. It's transparent. Whenever I send Bitcoin to people, it reveals my address. You can look at my address. You can see how much Bitcoin I have. You can see the different transactions where I've made it. It's just my name isn't attached to it, but it's all public information. That's how it's allowed to be decentralized. Decentralized just means that one person can't control it. One person can't control it because the actual ledger that shows everybody's, transactions is spread out around the world. They couldn't shut Bitcoin down if they wanted to, right? Ethereum is what they would call blockchain 2.0. It actually now applied a programmable language to cryptocurrency. So now you have programmable money. You have what they call smart contracts that are written unchangeable code, pieces of code that people can interact with. And Ethereum is basically the computer nerds version of Bitcoin. you know, so it just has more utility. It has a lot more use in a development space. And now there's I want to say hundreds, if not thousands, of Ethereum tokens out there, and each token has a specific thing or does a specific thing, and to buy these tokens you need Ethereum. For these tokens to interact, they need Ethereum, and that's why Ethereum is worth about $400 just for one right now. Then you have something like Monero. Monero's a new coin that's out. Well, it's not new, but it's newer than Ethereum. They call that blockchain 3.0. It's a privacy coin. Now, with Bitcoin, you can see all my transactions. You can see what's going on. You can look, if you know my wallet address, then you'll know what's going on, what I'm doing. With Monero and blockchain 3.0, you don't know anything, because as soon as that is verified, it not only is it encrypted, but the transaction history is burned from the ledger. Yes, approves. Mr. Gaddy says fiat. Yeah, the dollar's fiat currency. It basically means it's not backed by anything. It doesn't have a value. The only thing that's backing the American dollar, and that's what I was saying. I'm saying that it was a contest that I put out about 3 years ago, and I just said, hey, what backs the dollar? You know, what gives the dollar value? And it's debt. Debt gives the dollar value. That's the only thing. I mean, Jerry, what are you talking about? Debt gives a dollar value. That makes no sense. How can something negative give something value? It's because we go into debt when we get a house. We go into debt when we get a car. We go into debt when we go to school, because the money that we use, or the money that the contract is written in, is in dollars. So we say we're going to pay you back dollars for this house. We're going to pay you back dollars for this car, dollars for this education. That's what gives it value, the fact that you're in debt in that denomination. Now, if the contract said, I'm going to pay you back in rupees, okay, then I'm going to pay you back in the international currency. If the contract said, I'm going to pay you back in sticks, then sticks would now have value, because I have to give you sticks to get out of debt to have this house. You see what I'm saying? That's how debt actually controls the value of something. And it's because we're in debt in this denomination of dollars, that's what gives it value. And the fact that we're going to work until we pay off those dollars, that's what gives the dollar value. So yeah, I think how crazy this is that the only thing that gives this money value is the fact that we're out here working for it. Dollar is backed by the debt and the future work of the American people to pay off that debt. But what's crazy is there's more debt out here than we can work. So now what happens when there's more debt than work? What happens when inflation runs away? What happens when there's too much debt to pay off? And you gotta think about all this money that they printed just for this stimulus package. Trillions more in debt. How are we going to work this off? It's on us. It's on our backs to work this off, right? That's why they're calling for a new Bretton Woods. That's why they're calling for an economic reset. And you can look this up. I mean, I'm not making it up. But what does that mean? How do you get prepared? You know, I called for the recession in 2020. That's funny. It's funny now, because, you know, here we are on the other side and people are starting to come out of it. But I called for it. I'm not saying I'm some oracle, but I follow the news and people that are actually setting monetary policy, learning directly from them. And I look directly at what they're saying. I look directly at what millionaires are saying. People with money, billionaires with money. And they said, look, the way these charts is looking, there's going to be a recession come 2020. Not even the third month in 2020. Here's COVID. And what's crazy is we didn't even hit recession yet. Sure, you got millions unemployed. And there's a company helping people, by the way, make money from home and everything like that. So y'all need to hit me up, see if you qualify for that. But the thing about it is, we're not even in the recession yet. The recession has not hit. It's nowhere near the impact of everything that we're seeing today. We haven't even come close to a recession yet. So definitely, I need somebody to share this information with somebody on your news feed, because a lot of people just think it's a game. They don't understand how serious it is out here. They don't understand that you need to be preparing right now for this new Bretton Woods. What does that mean, Jerry? What is it? I still don't quite get it. So they basically took the dollar and made it the standard by word of mouth. Now they're saying we need to do that again and replace it with something else. This time it's going to be digital currency. Your dollar's going to be worthless. And this might take a little while. It may take about 5 years or so. Okay, so you get started now. Start accumulating assets now that are real assets, tangible assets, even digital assets. Do it. Start doing it now, because one day your dollar is not going to be worth anything. They're going to forgive your debt. They're going to forgive the dollar debt, the student loans, your mortgages. They're going to forgive all of that as long as you come on over to their currency. So they're creating a new currency. And the thing about it is it's not a cryptocurrency. Not that I know of right now. It might be. If it's a cryptocurrency, then that might be a little bit better. But it's going to be to the point where they have it's just like maybe a digital dollar. Maybe that's what they'll call it. And it's nothing but a number in a system. And it tells you how much you have in your wallet at any given time. Whenever you make a transaction, they'll be taxing you right off the top. You don't comply, you go to jail, they'll shut your wallet off. And what does that sound like, y'all? What does that sound like? There's a good book that already predicted all of this. There's a very good book written about 2,000 years ago that predicted all of this happening. Okay? So you just have to know, you got to get prepared. For my people out there that are getting prepared and that know to seek discernment, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's a new Bretton Woods agreement. That means they're replacing the dollar with something else, and your money is going to be valueless. And that's why you should be cleaning up your credit now, okay? Because credit determines your ability to handle debt. So for example, you clean your credit right now, you get dollars for your debt, right? You get dollars. Let me get some dollars. Let me get $10,000. Let me get $20,000. Let me get $30,000, so that I can go out and buy an asset that is going to help me through this economic time that's coming. Because it's still, again, we're nowhere near the bottom. We're nowhere near the bottom, y'all. It's only going to get worse. And I don't want to sound like a pessimist, but it's only going to get worse. Okay, so if you ain't believe me about 2020 and getting prepared for 2020, believe me about what's coming up next, because they already calling for it. Okay, they're calling for it. So get your credit right, so you can start to invest in assets like real estate. Okay, the value of real estate, they can't touch real estate because it's land. They only have a certain amount of land. Gold, you seen what they did with gold. You seen them manipulate gold. But you still want to start investing in your heavy metals like gold. It's probably a better metal to invest in would be silver, because silver has more utility than gold. Okay, silver has more utility than gold, and with gold they fix the markets on gold. Okay, so they basically tell you what gold is worth. Gold is not decentralized. Gold is very centralized, kind of like diamonds. Did you know you can go to Africa right now and there's literally lakes that have dried up that you can go on the property and pick diamonds up off the ground? Literally right now. And De Beers owns most of that land. You know, the diamond agency, a Diamond is Forever company. Okay, they own most of that land. Now, how do they make it valuable if it's something you can just pick up off the ground? It's because it's centralized. They determine the value of it because they control the supply of it. They can't do that with Bitcoin. No one controls Bitcoin. Nobody. I don't care how much you have. I don't care what you you can't even control the rate that it's mined at right now. So you need something that is finite. You need something that will hold its value. And again, share this thing, because our people need it. You need a voice and a face that looks like mine telling you and telling your friends and telling your family, look, something major is happening. We need to get ready. We need to start looking at how do we get our credit better so we can invest in assets like real estate. How we get our credit better so we can invest in assets like cryptocurrency. How do we get an emergency fund? How do we build that thing up? How do we start a business? Because businesses, look, you need a business, you need an emergency fund, and you need real estate. And on top of that, after you have those things, then you need to start investing in cryptocurrency. Or you can just start doing it now. You know, you can get, I might even drop a link so you can actually just start purchasing a little bit now. Even $10 a week is more than nothing. Even $100 a month is more than nothing, but you have to start doing it. Now, another big tip is don't just drop $1,000 or $2,000 in Bitcoin or something like that. Don't just do that. No, don't do that. What you want to do is spread out your increments in buying it. You want to buy it now. You want to buy it in increments. Doge really doesn't have utility. It's more like what they call it's a meme coin. So it was really just started to be funny. But it's funny because I have about 9,000 Doge coins right now that I just swapped for Tron coins. So because I'm actually doing something with my Tron, I'm growing them Tron. So ask me about what I'm doing to multiply my cryptocurrency. Hey babe, how you doing? How you doing? But yeah, Dogecoin right now is a really good buy, by the way, I would say, because it's at some of its all-time lows, and it's gone up. I want to say if it reaches its all-time high right now, I mean, compared to where it is right now, you're gonna 10x your money. But as far as a long-term investment, Doge, it's just one of those fun things that people like that hold. It's a take on that dog coin. I don't know if it's a Pomeranian or something like that. It's a take on, there's a meme out with a dog looking funny and they turn it into a cryptocurrency. That's what he's talking about with Dogecoin is. But yeah, those are the steps. Get your business, because your business is what is going to produce more money for you to invest. If you don't have a business, if you're just going straight from your job to investing, you're wasting your time, because you need to develop what I like to call a profit center. You need a profit center. That's something that's going to spit out more money for you. Okay? You don't need to just flat out just take your income from your job, because that's something that you took time into getting. You can't get your time back. You know what I'm saying? So if you spend your time and you take that and you go over here to an investment, and investments are called investments for a reason, because they're risky, you know. The real estate market might plummet. You know, you put your last $10,000 that you saved up from your job, you put that in a project and it failed. Now you lost all your money, right? But you really didn't lose money, you lost time, because you spent your time to get it. Okay? You're just the middleman. You traded your time for dollars, and then you invested your dollars. So if you lose your dollars, you just lost the time that you put in. You can't get the time back. But what you need to do is you need to have a business. So take the dollars that you're making from the job and you invest it in a business that can bring you returns for life. Okay, it's impossible to go out of business as long as you have business credit. And we show you how to get business credit. It's impossible to go out of business as long as you have capital. Okay, as long as you don't give up, you won't go out of business. Okay, so you can never fail on yourself. You can never fail on yourself unless you say, you know what, I had enough, I give up. You can even file for bankruptcy if you're a business and start a new business tomorrow, brand new. Get brand new trade lines, credit lines, everything. Like nothing ever happened. But you can't do that with investments. You just lost the investment. So what you need to do is first get the business. Get you a profit center that can spit out money, and then you save that money and you invest that money. So that way, hey, if the real estate market crashes, if that investment tanks, if Bitcoin tanks, your stock markets, you see, I didn't even talk about stock markets for a reason. I wouldn't be in the stock market right now unless you're shorting that bad boy. You feel me? Wouldn't be in the stock market. That's the first people that's gonna get hurt. You already seen what happened. S&P dropped so fast during COVID. And so if you think about this, how are they pumping it back up if places are closed? You got it, Harry. Time is precious. How is the S&P 500 How did they recover their losses if everything is closing, if everything is quarantined, if people still, if there's tens of millions still unemployed? Y'all gotta start using your common sense, man. The value of the stock is determined by people's sentiment. Sometimes there's no underlying value at all. Look at what happened to all those mortgage-backed securities back in 2018. That big pop that happened. There was no value in it because they were all subprime loans. They were loaning money to people with 400 credit scores, giving them $500,000 houses. But people were buying into it and pumping it up and pumping it up and pumping it up, pumping up those mortgage-backed securities, pumping up those stocks. But there was no underlying value to it. And then when they ran out of lies to tell people, when they were trying to get their money back, like, hey, I'm trying to cash out my stock for this mortgage-backed security, trying to cash out my stock in Bank of America, trying to cash out my stock in Wells Fargo. These banks were holding these mortgage-backed securities, and they couldn't deliver the money because there was no money there to give. And then that caused a big old crash. Same thing happening right now. You look at the market, that thing plummeted. Then all of a sudden it raised back up when people ain't got jobs. It raised back up before the stimulus hit. I can see if you said, oh, they took the stimulus money, reinvested into the economy, blah, 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 blah. But there's still people, there's still businesses that, to this day, that don't either have jobs or don't even have a business to go to anymore. So what I see that as is a false pump. It's false. Ain't nothing in it. Ain't nothing in it at all. So that's why the stock market is risky right now. Super risky. What's up, Keith? How you doing, brother? How you doing, millionaire? But ask me some questions if you don't quite understand what I'm getting at, what this Bretton Woods is talking about, why the dollar is no longer backed by gold, why that's a problem, what cryptocurrency is about, what credit's all about. You think Bitcoin is like the dot-com bubble? Hey, that is something, right? The dot-com bubble was huge, right? But you gotta think about what caused the dot-com bubble. Over speculation. So if you think Bitcoin is like over speculation, I'm sorry to say, you might be sad. You might be sad to find out that it's the real deal. And here's why. Bitcoin is proven. It's time tested. Bitcoin has went to about 6,500 during COVID, and now it's back to 13,000. All-time high was around 20,000. Bitcoin, you cannot. Number one, is global. Okay, .com, that was more, national. That happened more nationally with the stock market, with that whole thing popping. It was because of over speculation. People just bet too much on it. And then you gotta think about this too. Not every .com popped during that bubble. Y'all look at Amazon. Amazon was part of that thing. They still here. If anything, Amazon got rich off that .com bubble. They actually lasted. Companies like Yahoo took, Verizon owns Yahoo now. That's crazy, ain't it? But no, Bitcoin has real value, and it's because it's a finite amount of Bitcoin that can ever be produced, period. And its value is unchanged. It's not unchangeable, but its metrics, its algorithm is unchangeable. So you gotta think about it like that. If you have something that's immutable, unchangeable, and it has a finite value as a store of money, that's really all money needs to be. Money just means it has a store of value that doesn't change drastically and radically, because that's the only problem with Bitcoin right now, is that its price is in fluctuation. So it really can't be a store of money, but it can definitely be a store of value. Money means I need to come to you tomorrow and know that I'm paying 0.001 Bitcoin, and that's going to be like $8 or something like that. And I know that I can set my prices at 0.008 Bitcoin, and people can come into my store and buy, and I know exactly how much I'm getting, right now with Bitcoin fluctuations, it's still trying to find its value, man. I think once the last Bitcoin is minted or mined, once the last Bitcoin is mined, then it will stabilize. And whatever price it's set at that point, maybe it'd be $100,000 per Bitcoin, but we won't even be basing things off of dollars anymore. If you see what I'm trying to say, like it's not even about the dollar anymore because they're resetting it. They're gonna wipe out your debt and they're gonna give you a choice. They're gonna say, hey Jerry, you know you got them student loans, don't even worry about them loans no more, player. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go ahead and take them loans. We gonna wipe them all out, and we gonna give you some new digital currency. Okay, it's gonna call the United States digital dollar. Okay. You know, your boy might take him up on that. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I'm also gonna have other assets, plenty of Bitcoin. You know, multiplying that as we speak without even looking. You know, so if you're looking at how to multiply your Bitcoin, how to get into Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, let me know. But a lot of people are going to be caught up in that trap because they don't have any other way to go. They have no other assets. If I don't do this, if I don't make this move, then I'm not going to be able to transact any money. And in Revelations, if you want to know what I was talking about earlier in the Bible, in Revelations, that's what it says. It says, without there's going to be a one world government, one world currency, and there's going to be a mark. And if you don't have that mark, then you can't spend your money, you can't interact, you can't shop, you can't do anything. This is just a move towards that, honestly, because if they can make things digital, then they ain't got to worry about taxes. There won't be an IRS anymore with this new digital currency. There won't need to be an IRS anymore because they just taking the money. Whenever you make a transaction, they just take a little bit off the top. Take a little bit off the top. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It might not be a bad thing, but there goes your anonymity. There goes the ability for you to make anonymous transaction. I ain't gonna try that word. I'll try it maybe tomorrow. Let me know. I hear Dogecoin is tethering to Ethereum, which is why I decided to buy it. Oh, that's dope. I didn't know about that. I know that there is wrapped coins, so they'll take Ethereum and they'll wrap it. Like there's wrapped Bitcoin. Facebook thinks you got a green screen. Nah, I ain't got a green screen. It's a green screen, all right. You see, we building over here. We building. Okay. It's not my property, by the way. So, if Facebook wants to use this and say I was trespassing, ain't no trespassing signs, so I'm good. I'm good, okay? Before you try to call the cops. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, right with that digital dollar. I know, man. You can look it up, man. I'm just trying to bring it to the people because sometimes we hear things from people that don't look like us and we don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to scam somebody into buying something. Bitcoin is not a pyramid. Bitcoin is definitely real. It's a real asset. They're really looking at it, but they're not going to make that the standard because they can't control it. They ain't going to make it the standard because they can't control it. It's going to be something that they can control and something that they can run away with and just put arbitrary numbers in and pump up the value. They're not going to take something to where they are right now. This is exactly what they want. They want something that they can pump up, that their interest rates can be super high, that they can just, put countries in debt because of it. Yeah, I think this is what they do, man. They go to poor countries, they put them in debt, and then they say, you owe all these USDs, and then they take all the value out of the country. They take all the gold out of the country. They take all the precious metals out of the country, all the the oil. Look at what happened in Iraq. They take all the oil out of the country, and then they put them in debt to a certain currency. In this case, it's the dollar. And that's exactly what they've done to us as well. We're not doing this. It's being done to us. As United States citizens, this thing is being done to us. We're not the people behind it. Okay? And it's not some kind of conspiracy theory. They're doing it in plain sight. It's just not making headline news. Either because people don't care about it. Just like right now, you won't even share this right now because you thinking like, oh, it's just him talking off the top of his head, But it's real news. So what they've done to us is they put us all in debt. They put us in a pinch. They gave us this president versus that president when they both trash. Neither one of them care. Sorry to say, neither one of them care. Neither one of them. Not Biden or Trump. They don't care about us. You know what I mean by that? They don't. They are puppets. They're simply puppets, man. And that's to say, even if I became president, who knows? I'd probably be, strings pulling me too. Like, oh, do this, say this, do that, say this. It's the same head, just a different face. I will say this: at least Trump got his own money. You can't bribe him. He got money. He don't care. I heard he ain't even taking a presidential salary. He had to take something, so he took $1 for being a president. I will at least give him that. I mean, he's a prick, I'll say this: he's sharp as a tack, though. That man can weasel his way out of anything. You know what I'm saying? That man can speak circles around. That man can speak in circles for days, let me tell you. So I'll give him that. Speaking of property, what do you think of construction loans? Credit runs the country. You have to look. I mean, just look at where. Let me see if we flip this thing around right now. You know what I'm saying? They out here. There's construction going on right now. Okay. Where we at right now? There's renovation going on right over there. Okay, that's my crib right over there. Okay, and that house right, where is it at? Right over this Porta John. The house right over there. That house was built last year. Took them about 6-7 months or something like that. So the construction loans are necessary. We need, because Ray Dalio, billionaire, said that credit is the most important key to our economy. What he meant by that was you have to have an expansion of loans. You have to give money. You have to expand someone's money so that they can go out and expand yours. Okay? You have to, because if one person just has $1, but they need $10,000 to make $20,000, the bank's going to give them that $10,000 and just be like, yo, just give me half of your profits. That's how it grows. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm on Castle, the Black Wall Street. Used to be Black Wall Street. I actually lived there. It's crazy. I'd share it, but I shared it, but appreciate you, Colin, for sharing it. Yep. Well-read Creature from Jekyll Island. Exactly. That's the perfect book for this conversation. The Creature from Jekyll Island. If y'all read that, you'll know a lot more about monetary policy and what's going on today than 99% of your friends and your peers. Creature from Jekyll Island. Definitely read that. What's up, Nicole? Hey, Miss Weston, how you doing? Hey, millionaire. Hey, millionaire. I see you out there. But yeah, so my main point of all this is look up Bretton Woods and know that you need to start investing. Look at this plane, man. They targeting me right now. Look at they flying right at me. Where they at? Look at them. They flying right at me. Like, oh. There he is right there. He's talking about it. We're picking up a transmission. Picking up a transmission from Castle Street. He's talking about monetary policy. He's helping people change their portfolios. He's giving them the heads up. Yeah, he's still there. Come pick him up, boys. Man, you can't be afraid of this thing neither. If it's meant to be, God gonna make it happen. And if you're meant to be protected, God gonna protect you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get this word out there, though. You're doing more good than not. And I guarantee you, like 99% of people that done drove by here is looking at me, and they're like, what's he doing over there? I'm spreading his word, okay? I'm doing what I gotta do to get the word out and help people understand what's going on. Again, you gotta have a face that looks like mine sometimes, explain to you what's going on. So we have different programs that help you with your credit. So hit me up. We're helping people literally enhance their credit score so that they can go out and buy assets, so they can, become homeowners. And that's another thing about homeowners. People say, oh, you don't own your house. The bank owns your house because you got a mortgage, blah, 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 blah. Nah, you actually own that one. If you look on your deed, A deed actually shows the transfer of ownership. The deed shows the transfer of ownership. I'll say it again. The deed shows the transfer of ownership. So whoever you bought the house did not transfer ownership to the bank. Whoever you bought the house from transferred ownership to you. And what you did is you signed another agreement, a separate agreement, okay, that says, I am backing this loan by this property that I own. That's what a mortgage is. But you own the property. So don't ever let somebody talk you down and be like, oh, the bank owns the property. Let's see if you stop paying the taxes on it. Let's see if you die. I get all that. But you own the property. All right? And then all that means is that you just that you participated in the economy. It just means your credit was good enough to get it. Okay? That's all that means. Hey, Auntie. How you doing, beautiful? I miss you. That's all that means now. It means you have an asset. And then guess what? 2 to 3 years, you build up enough equity in that house, you can go ahead and sell that bad boy. Or what you can do is use that equity in your house, retain ownership of it, and go buy another house, a bigger house. And then you can rent out the previous house. You might make about $100 to $200 in profit because you still got to pay the mortgage on it, right? So depending on how good your credit is, that depends on how good and how low that mortgage payment is. And you look at the rental rates, you make a little change. Let's say your mortgage is only $500 because you got good credit. You go out there and you rent that bad boy out for $1,000 because that's what every other house in your neighborhood rents out for. Now you're making $500 a month. And let's say on your new property, the rent, or excuse me, on your new house, the mortgage is $600. Well, you're just paying $500 of it from somebody else paying it. So you're really only paying $100 for a nicer house. And that's how you scale up. That's how you scale up. But it all starts with credit, right? But you're not even going to get there. You're not even going to get to the point where you can have good credit if you don't have good money management skills. And you're not going to do that if you don't understand just simple basics of money. You know, and we have a financial group, Goins Financial Facebook group, where all of our clients meet. You know, so if you ever done business with us, you're in this private group. And if you have done business with us and you're not in this private group, just let me know and I'll get you added. Where every week we're having a new financial session where we're teaching about money, we're teaching about just different things, you know, budgeting and how it fits into your lifestyle, the psychology of money, the benefits of having a business, tax deductions, you know, just different cash flow strategies that you can use on top of fixing your credit. We got tips for days on fixing your credit, but now they understanding that, hey, there's so many people getting hip to the credit game, we gotta switch it up. We gotta switch it up. So you gotta get in now, and you gotta start learning these things now because they're just gonna switch it up. They're gonna switch it up on you, and then you gotta learn something new, and you're gonna be like, I gotta learn something new. Now see, I'm glad I didn't learn about credit because now you got something else. But I can guarantee you this: you get in now. You understand the rules about credit, you understand the rules about asset allocation and accumulation. You're going to be much better than you were if you were just sitting on the couch not doing nothing about it at all. You got to get in the game. That's how the rich get rich. They have businesses that funnel all the tax money. Donald Trump still ain't released his tax returns and he's president. And then people, it trips me out too. I'll say this last thing, man. No, I ain't even gonna say it. Don't worry about that. But just get up with your boy. Let's grow. You know, let's help you with your credit. Let's help you accumulate crypto. Let's help you just learn other ways to not lose in this new economy that's coming, because it is coming. It's a new day coming, and I don't want people to wake up and their bank account froze. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to happen in the blink of an eye. It's going to, one day, it's just, your bank account just ain't going to work no more. The dollar's going to be worthless. They're going to be like, we don't use the dollar no more. You get your own digital wallet from the government. And that's how you transact with people. It's coming. Whew. Could you imagine all the money in your account frozen right now? Woo. Oh my God. What you gonna do? What you gonna do, bruh? What you gonna do when they change this thing over? What's your credit gonna be looking like? Could you go out and get a $10,000 loan? You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about, the emergency funds. Credit is a new emergency fund. Okay, so yeah, emergency fund means you save up $3,000. Emergency fund means you save up, a true emergency fund is saving up 6 months of your income. A mini emergency fund is $3,000, $1,000 to $3,000 just for simple emergencies. You gotta have that, or you'll always be broke because things always come up. You always need a tire for your car. You always need a new alternator. Your child always need to, get something new shoes. The dog need to go to the vet. There's always something new that you ain't planned for. And if you don't have an emergency fund, you're always going to be broke because you didn't plan for that. Man, that's another nugget. I wish I learned that like 20 years ago. Jeez, I'd change my life right now, man. So many times I ain't had no money. I had to just do some crazy stuff and get some money, right? But if you have credit, that's a new emergency fund. So if you have credit, boom, I just get $10,000 on my credit card. Boom, I'm set, right? So yeah, I think about it like that. There's so many different ways, but if you ain't getting it, then you ain't getting it. But I just want to let y'all know, link up with me. Let's help you with your credit. Let's help you with the crypto. Okay, it's not something that's a phase. It's not something that is here and then gone tomorrow. It's here to stay. The world has adopted it officially. PayPal even has adopted a way for you to buy crypto with PayPal. If PayPal's looking at Bitcoin, you know it's a wrap. PayPal don't do nothing crazy, man. PayPal shut your account down if they think you money laundering. PayPal shut your account down if you ain't pay somebody right. You know what I'm saying? So, but with PayPal, the only bad thing about PayPal and Venmo, because that's who owns Venmo, the only bad thing about it is when you get Bitcoin with PayPal, they will still own the wallet address. And if you know anything about cryptocurrency, you want to maintain your private keys, because they have a public key and a private key in the crypto wallet. The private key is your access to that wallet. So even if, your computer crashed, even if you lose your phone, if you have your private key stored somewhere separate, you can take that private key and get back into your crypto wallet anywhere in the world. You can put me in Antarctica. You know what I'm saying? Give me my private keys, give me access to the internet, I can pull up some money. So PayPal, they're gonna keep your private keys. You ain't gonna have access to them. So what does that mean? That means that you don't own the wallet. You don't own the money, they own it. I don't really like that. So they might have to change that policy if they really think about mass adoption. But the public key is the other thing. The public key is what you give other people so you can receive payments. But you also want to look out for Elrond, E-L-R-O-N-D, Elrond Gold. I think that's going to be one of the next Cash App. Okay, so Elrond, they have an app called Mayar. It's got this whole Lord of the Rings kind of theme to it. It's kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? Because the Mayar are like the invisible. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Somebody that's big on Lord of the Rings is gonna kill me. But the Mayar are the invisible creatures that like help elves and humans on quests and things like that. So I guess Mayar is kind of like that invisible wallet that helps you interact with the crypto world and everything. But Elrond is really, really cool. It's probably one of the best looking cryptocurrencies because it has it allows you to do like 2,000 transactions per second. And I don't think there's many other cryptocurrencies that can do that. But very, very, very dope project. Elrond, definitely get you some of that because it's really low right now. It's really low right now. I think it's like $8 per Elrond. So you want to look at that. What was I talking about? I was talking about something. The new Cash App, PayPal. Okay, so yeah, so that's that. So PayPal is adopting it now. With PayPal, here's the thing. There's about 70 I think it's like 70 million Bitcoin users or something like that right now, 70 million addresses that have Bitcoin. And with PayPal, they're going to give access to 70 more thousand people to have Bitcoin. So what we predict is that the price of Bitcoin is going to skyrocket. Because if you double the demand for Bitcoin, then the price theoretically should double. Now, I mean, it's not going to really double, but it will go up. I can guarantee you that. So you definitely want to start looking at getting Bitcoin today, getting Bitcoin now. This whole thing was not about Bitcoin. It's more just about being aware of what's in front of you in terms of monetary policy and in terms of just getting your credit right and getting in terms of, fixing yourself up, setting yourself up for financial success, which everybody needs to be doing. But I'm out here. I'm out, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the shares. Thanks for the likes. I see some people, they looking, they not liking. Y'all get on my nerves. You know what I'm saying? Support your boy. Support your boy. Share this if you love your mama. I'm out. Peace.